Hi guys, I hope you're all keeping well. If you're new to the channel, my name is Julie. I am really excited guys because I have something special for you today, especially if you're a huge Star Wars fan. What I have actually done is I have rounded up Jedis and Stormtroopers from a galaxy far away, and including myself, what we're all going to do together is we're going to explain why we love the Star Wars franchise so much, and also what would we possibly change about Star Wars. So if you're interested in hearing what we all think about Star Wars, then please keep on watching.
Alright, so I'm taking a break here so I can tell you about how much I love Star Wars. I had to think about this for a little bit because my love for Star Wars is really only, I really only love the original trilogy. However, Star Wars has been a huge source of creative inspiration for me. All of the movies, even the ones that I like the least and the ones with the most cringe-worthy subject matter, are still completely full of beautiful costumes, amazing sets, beautiful spaceship design, fantastic music, great editing, awesome camera work. It just really inspires me. So even the ones that I don't like, I still like because of those things. I can leave the theater and just be like, man, that was dumb, but I still love it. And I leave there with a brain full of creative juices to make all kinds of new things and make replica things and make new things and come up with my own ideas that are just inspired by those films. All of them. It's been that way since I was a little kid. I think the best analogy for that is like, they remind me of hearing a song where lyrics to the song are really dumb, but the music is really good. I will still listen to that kind of music in the same way I'll still watch some of the Star Wars. Like The Last Jedi is a perfect example. So much dumb stuff happened, but there's still so much awesomeness in that movie. There's all these, like I said, rad droids, cool ships, great sets. It's great in a lot of ways. So I still take inspiration from all of them, and I just hope that they keep doing that. And it's gotten to a point now in my life where all the creative energy that I put in to my own life based on those movies is now coming full circle, and now I'm like working on all kinds of stuff that's Star Wars related. Not any films yet, unfortunately, but I've worked on commercials, I've done props for collectors, I've done restoration on movie props that are screen used, Star Wars props, all kinds of great stuff. And it's really cool, and I'm excited that I get to be part of it. And none of that would have happened had I not been so obsessed with those films when I was a little kid. I just hope that the new movies that are coming out, I don't know, I hope they take them in a better direction. I enjoyed Rogue One, and I actually liked the Han Solo movie. I had a few issues with the Han Solo movie, but it was alright. The Force Awakens, it was alright. It was like a rehash of New Hope. I think everybody knows that. And then The Last Jedi, I was like, oh my god, what are you doing? Rian Johnson, calm down with the stuff. Just please be calm. However, I still think I liked it more than some of the prequel movies, so there's that. But again, full of beautiful stuff. Lots and lots of talented people worked on it, so I take to the internet and I pick their brains and I find out how they did what they did, and it's just great. Hopefully that's some useful information, but thanks for including me in this. I'm quite excited. Have fun. Bye.
Hello Star Wars fans, my name is Jack Joseph Barrett and I'm from London. A massive thank you for Julie for allowing me to take part in this Star Wars collab video. Things I like about Star Wars is growing up and collecting Star Wars figures and watching films with friends. About 2002, when I was about 4 years old, that was the first time I discovered Star Wars. And I watched The Phantom Menace on an old video recorder. Episode 2 came out, I watched that. So I watched episode 1 and 2 and I was literally just blown away. 2005 I eventually saw episode 3, and then when 2005 came along and episode 3 was released and eventually brought out on DVD, I managed to buy the original trilogy DVDs and obviously the bonus features, and with that I watched all 6 movies. I was literally just stunned with the sheer joy of George Lucas's fantasy. Collecting figures was an absolute great hobby. So you had so many great figures back in the day. You had the Legacy collection, the 30th anniversary collection, the Saga Legends, the Saga collection, Power of the Force, vehicles, playsets, lightsabers, everything. And when we used to go around mate's house, we used to create iconic battles, i.e. Anakin and Obi-Wan's duel, Order 66, Attack of the Clones battle on Geonosis with the clones getting involved, the Jedi fighting the droids and Dooku and Jango Fett. Films offered a different perspective. Like you went into a Star Wars film and thought, right, we've got our own fantasy, we're going to try and mix it up and try and see our own perspective. Oh, I like that bit that George Lucas added. Oh, that bit was good. Or that certain scene was great. With our own perspective on what Star Wars was like, and it all synced in. The things I like about Star Wars is Star Wars YouTubers, because when I created this channel, I didn't honestly think that it would get this much hype. My last year at secondary school, I had friends watching my YouTube channel at school. Maybe 2:40, the teacher said, right, we're going to stop everything, let's go watch Jack's Star Wars YouTube channel. I remember walking past the classroom one day and thinking, is that me? It brings people together, balances the force. No matter what happens in the world, if you watch a Star Wars film and you love it so much, it brings friends and family together for one shared love between good and evil, because we can relate to the characters. It's such a loving franchise that we can watch time and time again. It's the one thing Star Wars fans around the world, including myself, absolutely enjoy: family and friendship. Star Wars is about family and friendship. It brings people together. It just gives us a knowledge of the Force, a knowledge of the light side, a knowledge of the dark side, and shows us how to defeat evil once and for all. Family is a massive thing, obviously, in my household. My parents love Star Wars. They love it as me, but not the collecting side. But we can sit down, watch Star Wars, feel the emotion on screen, and enjoy every single minute of it due to character development, characters we love, and characters that we can engage in and get their feelings. Family and friendship is everything in Star Wars. Well, what things I would change about Star Wars? Listen to fans' advice, but everybody listened to fans' advice because obviously they brought back the Clone Wars. People have been going on ever since it got cancelled to bring it back. When's it going to finish? When are we going to see the Lost Ark of Mandalore? When are we going to see the Bad Batch squad? I can kind of scrap that in a way, but listen to fans' advice, either bringing back old figures, better character development, and better stuff happening. New leadership, new desire, or a better pathway. Better leadership, it could either be like Kathleen Kennedy, better directors. I wouldn't say necessarily say better actors, but better development in trying to produce the best Star Wars film possible. But better leadership does go a long way. In some countries, merchandise is kind of hard sometimes to pick up certain Star Wars figures. This year particularly, I have struggled from picking up certain solo products, but hopefully they will be on the way. Some people have struggled to obviously pick stuff up. Try and make it a little bit easier for certain Star Wars fans, die-hard Star Wars fans, to try and pick up the latest products. The Last Jedi, Episode 8, has had so many fans divided, so try and reconnect with fans. For instance, ideas from YouTube or advice being sent into Lucasfilm. Character development, it's not a major thing in Star Wars. Certain characters have a blinding aspect, but certain developments, i.e. The Last Jedi, I thought that Rose's development of character should have been Finn's development. Rose should have got less screen time and possibly less words to say. Finn's opportunity in this film was fine, but it wasn't as good as people expected. Certain characters need to obviously take a step back from the light and assessed more and better. Thanks for including me. Thank you very much for being a loyal subscriber on my channel, and I hope you get many more subscribers.
Hello, this is Mr. Evilcheese. Thanks, Julie, for asking me to be on this. What I love about Star Wars was when I was a little kid, there was like fantasy movies with wizards and sword fights, and then there'd be movies with monsters, movies with aliens, there'd be movies with robots, there'd be movies with space battles, but Star Wars had it all. I mean, in one scene you could have a Jedi who can use the Force and has a laser sword talking to a robot or droid. There could be a monster, there could be some kind of alien. There's just so much in those movies that I love. I really liked, like in the classic trilogy, I liked the simple story. It was just basically good versus evil, but the characters were really fleshed out. They were really likable. Darth Vader, one of the greatest villains ever. So much that drew me to Star Wars. Because it's an entire universe, there's so many different things they can explore. It's just a really awesome thing that was created. For what I would change about Star Wars, my answer would have been very different a few years ago, but now it's a very easy answer, and it's just that I would make The Last Jedi not exist. I know people are really divided on that. There's some people that love it, but I despised it. And I know there's that little petition going around, people trying to get it remade, and I don't believe that's going to happen. I don't see that happening. To me, it didn't accomplish anything. Just like at the end of Force Awakens, the First Order is in charge and the rebels are outnumbered, and that's pretty much what's happening at the end of this movie. the rebels or the resistance is outnumbered and the First Order is in charge. I only see really three things happening that mattered in The Last Jedi. One, they killed Snoke, and then two, they killed Luke Skywalker, and three, they ruined just about every character. And I don't, at least in my opinion, I don't care about any of them now. I don't care about Part 9. I mean, I'm sure when there's some trailers, I'll be like, ooh, that looks kind of neat or something, but as for right now, I just don't care. Another simple thing I would change is no midichlorians. I don't like that. That took away all the magic and mystery of the Force to me. I don't like saying that the Force is just germs inside your blood, and that, I don't like that.
Hello, my name is Ivan Ortega, and Star Wars has been a crucial part of my life since I can't even remember. There's been times in my life where I needed a teacher, where I've needed a role model, where I needed hope. And Star Wars has been there for me every single one of those times, where I needed someone to teach me how to be confident, how to not care for what the people were going to say and just do what I wanted to do. Han Solo was there. When I was afraid that no one was going to listen to me because I was of a different gender or a different race in a strange foreign country, Leia was there. How she faced stuff to Vader, how she faced stuff to everyone. She was a super great example. And where I was sad, I was completely devastated. And I needed someone to tell me, you're better than this. Because you're not going to act like one. You're not going to try to be like one. You're going to be one. You are a Jedi. And there was Luke Skywalker telling the Emperor, you failed, Your Highness. I am a Jedi, like my father before me. And when I go through things in my life that I don't think I'm going to be able to pass, I think to myself, I am a Jedi. I don't say that I'm going to act like one. I am one, and I'm going to earn it. Now let's talk about story. Let's talk about composition in video. Let's talk about color. Let's talk about the hero's journey. Star Wars is not a hero's journey. It's the hero's journey. How can it not be significant? How can it not be so important? So iconic and memorable. And that's what it's lacking right now. You ask me iconic moments about the new Star Wars movies. The only one that I can think of is in Rogue One, where Darth Vader is fighting the rebels. Why? Because it's Darth Vader and he's shining. Aside from that, characters have been forgettable. Establishing shots have been bland. The music has been dull. Definitely doesn't seem like there's any sort of direction with the storyline. Instead of having a 1, 2, 3 beginning, middle, and end, we have a beginning, we have an end, and then are we gonna have a middle? Like, where's the blueprint? Doesn't seem like there's one. And then there's attacks on the customers. Yes, we are fans, but ultimately, we give our money. And that's what keeps you alive, Lucasfilm. And you attack us because we don't like your product? I'm sorry. Deal with it. That's what I would change about Star Wars. The direction. The leadership. How it's been handled. Because Star Wars is beloved and we want to love it. I don't think there is a person that is a fan of Star Wars that doesn't want to support it and doesn't want to love it till the end of time. But right now, the leadership at Lucasfilm is making it extremely difficult. But I guess we have to see.
This is Snook Spinal Tap. This is part of a collab with Wished Upon a Vlog. What it is why we love Star Wars and what we would change about Star Wars, or maybe to fix Star Wars. Why I love Star Wars is because of it involves the light and dark. It's like a fantasy type of mystery, type of like theory building type of story. Also like Indiana Jones. And I always thought that whenever Luke and Leia were running through the Death Star in A New Hope, it always reminded me of Indiana Jones whenever he was like running away from that big boulder. Whenever I was a kid, Star Wars was really big in puppets, and there was, I think it was like Jim Henson did some of the puppets and everything, and I really liked those. I got into those for a while. The Ewoks were great, you know, and that was a big movie that came out whenever I was young enough for me to actually remember it, like, coming out. Had like some kind of like treehouse play set thing as a kid. It was like yellow. It was pretty cool. Remember that they had like some other kind of like story that was going on along with it. There was Shadows of the Empire, and then they had Expanded Universe come in. I wasn't really ever into it. Got into some of the characters and the storylines a little bit, but like there's like Cade Skywalker, Mara Jade, and other characters, but it's all part of this expanded universe that was presented prior, that I think a lot of people have fallen in love with, and I think that a way that they could change Star Wars is maybe to bring back the Empire somehow, like the original Empire from like maybe a far off galaxy. They come in and they attack First Order, and we have this big clash against the Empire and the First Order and everything. I think that would be a great story and a great way to be able to bring back some of the other stories from the expanded universe and stuff like that. But let me know in the comments about how you would fix Star Wars or change Star Wars, and why you love Star Wars also. Thank you, Julie, for letting me into the collab. And hello, everybody out there, and may the Force be with you always.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Parker of Matthew's Nerdy Nation on YouTube. I live in a small town in northern New Hampshire in the United States. I've grown up with Star Wars. Star Wars came out shortly after I was born, so Star Wars has been a big part of my life. I've collected figures and accessories and other things. In fact, I have a original Tauntaun right here. The space opera that is Star Wars has always been an important part in my life. As for things that I would change in Star Wars, I'm not sure if I would. I have seen change in Star Wars. I saw the original version of Star Wars before the special edition. There are things in the special edition that I would like to remove. But if I was to remove the things in the special edition, people that haven't seen the original would be upset. Also, there are a lot of people that dislike the way Disney, for one thing, is going with the whole Star Wars franchise, but it's not our decision to make. George Lucas sold the franchise, and they own it. They can do what they want with it. We may not like it. We may like it. I don't know. I haven't seen any of the new films yet. That's including Rogue One, Solo, and Episode 7 and 8. And I would love to see all of them. and I will watch them with a heart of someone who loves Star Wars. But as for changing anything, no. Change might be good for some things. Change in Star Wars isn't necessarily a good thing.
Hi guys, the reason that I love Star Wars personally is because I think the movies are both classic and timeless. I think the characters are made both interesting and admirable, and I also think it's awesome that they put funny characters in there as well, like Han Solo. I don't know if you can see him behind me, but what a legend. I love Han Solo. I mean, the movies are set in space, but they made the movies about friendship and family, and I just think that's absolutely fantastic. I think it's a genius idea. The first Star Wars movie that I ever seen was when I was around 12 years old, back in 1999, The Phantom Menace. And for me, my favourite parts when I was sitting in the cinema around 12 years of age was little Annie, or Anakin as he's also known. I loved all those scenes with him, and for me, each time I watch him and each time I watch The Phantom Menace, I just love it and I feel really nostalgic. So basically from a young age, I've always loved science and had a real interest in science fiction. I can remember both my mother and my grandfather had bought me different science books. The one my grandfather got me was blue and the one my mum got me was white, and I still have them to this day. And in some of the pages it would show you how you could make certain little things at home. And I can remember I always used to run around asking my mum for bits and pieces, and I made this thing with like this rope with the solar system and everything on it. That was literally me when I was a child. I just loved anything science and science fiction related. I also love all the droids in Star Wars. It's so cool. I think C-3PO looks super awesome. I really love him as a character together with R2-D2. I think those two characters together are super funny and really cool to watch. Something else that I really love about Star Wars, guys, is the humanoid Jawas. I just think those guys are one of the super coolest things that are in Star Wars. What I also love about Star Wars is that I am able to collect different things, different merchandise and different figurines. As you can see, I absolutely love the 6-inch Black Series figurines. But what I really love about Star Wars, probably one of the most things that I love about Star Wars, one of the biggest reasons, is that Star Wars has proved that you don't have to have tons of fancy CGI and tons of fancy crazy effects and go full blown on effects and concentrate only on mainly effects to create a timeless classic movie that just never gets old. Now what I would change about Star Wars, guys, is definitely the complete direction that it's going in. It just needs resolved. For me, guys, you know, The Last Jedi destroyed pretty much the reasons that I love Star Wars. For example, I was talking earlier about the characters. I love the characters. For me, they were dismantled in that movie. I also think that the fans need to be taken more into consideration. You know, don't just make a movie because you think it's going to make a ton of money. Please make Star Wars movies in the future and take the fans into consideration, because at the end of the day, the fans is what created the franchise to carry on as long as it has done. So without us, you know, it's going to be very difficult. So I think the fact that so many people didn't like The Last Jedi has proved that there needs to be some changes. Especially, you know, if you're going to put in new characters, that's absolutely fine. We have to learn to appreciate that. We have to get used to new characters coming in and everything. You get that with any movie. If there's going to be lots of movies released, there's going to be new characters. That's fine. But at least make them somewhat relatable or inspiring, or that they've worked hard to get there as a character. Because if I can't find them relatable, if other fans can't find them relatable, to me that just takes somewhat of a large feeling out of what Star Wars is. To me, that's not Star Wars. So I would like to feel more of Star Wars in the new movies. It needs to, the next movies that are coming out, I just really hope that there's going to be some changes, pretty much. So what we would all like to know, guys, all of us that have took part in this video would like to know, why do you love Star Wars, and is there anything that you would change about Star Wars, or is there nothing you would change? Are you completely happy enough? Or what would you like to change? If it was in your hands, what would you change about Star Wars? Thank you so much for watching today, and I would like to take the time now to personally thank each and every single one that were in this video. I really appreciate that you took out the time, your own personal time, to record your own video to send to me for me to be able to make this collaboration. This wouldn't have been a Star Wars collaboration without you. Every single person that is in this video is a massive Star Wars fan. Every person in this video, their YouTube channel link is in my video description and a little short piece about them. I would highly recommend that you do check everyone's channel out, because everyone that I chose to put in this video are massive, massive true Star Wars fans. Trust me, we all love Star Wars. So I've put them all in order of appearance, and I really do hope that you could do that for me, guys, if you could check their channel out, because I support their channels and they also support my channels. So it would be really lovely if you could do that. I'm sure I can speak for everyone that was in this video that no one would mind getting involved in a conversation. I'm sure everyone that was in this video would love to join in a Star Wars conversation below. So if you have anything that you want to write, or any questions that you want to ask anybody, or if you have any thoughts and opinions on something that one of us said, I'm sure everybody would be happy to join in. I mean, I'm sure we would all love it. It's going to most likely turn into a big massive Star Wars conversation, but we all love Star Wars here. We're all nice and friendly. So just leave a comment below, and until my next video, may the Force be with you. Bye guys!